Yes, you can do now.
Okay.
Yep, you can share the screen now. You're good.
Okay. I'm sharing my screen. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. So hello everyone. This is Janathol. Today I'm gonna be doing tutor application deployment using AWS Management Console and AWS CLI. So the prerequisite for this is I have to create a droplet, which I'm gonna do it on DigitalOcean. And then, of course, I have to install the AWS CLI and kubectl, configure the AWS CLI, and then I have to use a CloudFormation template, and then I have to create the role policy for the EKS cluster, and I have to attach the role policy with the EKS cluster. Then I have to create the node group role policy, and I have to attach the node group role policy with the node group, and then finally I have to create the kubeconfig file and attach it to the cluster, and finally I'm gonna be doing like tutor application deployment using the deployment service manifest. And now I'm gonna go on the deployment part. All right. 1 second. Think on DigitalOcean is right here. All right. All right, so now I'm gonna create the droplet. I'm gonna create my region as New York, and the data center will be New York as well. 20, okay, that's good. I'm gonna create this one, and right. My droplet is ready. Almost. And now I'm gonna switch to the mobile screen. Droplet is creating. So I'm gonna wait for a bit to get the IP address. It's creating, it's almost ready. I'm gonna log in as a root user. All right. Okay, it's not ready yet. Okay. Sometimes still provision. Yep. All right, so I'm in. All right, so how this works. All right, let me go to the these things. I'm just gonna put here. All right, so we are in AWS. This is my AWS account. So how does that work? So I'm gonna be creating cluster on using Amazon EKS Cluster. So here is the user guide for this. So I'm gonna be using this link. So first we have to have some prerequisite. So first on the server, I have to install, okay, so there's two ways. We can do like Amazon EKS Cluster, and of course we can do like Amazon Management Console and AWS CLI. So with Amazon EKS Cluster, we have to have these prerequisites, like we have to install Amazon kubectl, EKS Cluster, and AWS CLI, and then we have to run only one command. And with this managed service, we can just create the EKS cluster just like this. This is a managed service. So Amazon EKS Cluster is a control plan. This has only the master. This is not a full-fledged like cluster service. We're only gonna have the master, and we have to add the worker node later on. So, but I'm not gonna use this one. I'm gonna go on a the long way. So this one I have to do multiple steps. So I'm gonna be showing this one. All right. So in this case, first I have to install the AWS CLI. So to do that, all right. My machine is Linux. I'm gonna be copy this one. So we can see this is a zip file. In that case, I have to, after updating my server, you do apt get. All right, it's taking some time because the server is creating.
I can't see your screen. Where?
Oh, sorry, because this double screen. Okay, now you can see. Shabai, can you
Yep.
see now? Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right. So now, since that was a zip file, so I have to install the unzip. Sudo apt unzip. Oops, sorry. All right. Now I'm gonna paste the command. All right. All right. Now we have to go back. So my AWS CLI command line interface is installed. Now I'm gonna go for the next step. So I don't need this one. This thing is bothering me. All right. So now we have to do the AWS configuration. AWS. So I can check the version, the AWS dash version, right? I can see that's the version I have right here, AWS CLI 2.9.4. All right, now I have to do the AWS configure. So when I'm gonna do that, is gonna ask me about my access key, which is my AWS account credential. Oh God. Okay. That's where I have all the information in the secret access key. Do I have? Okay, I have to create a new one. All right, show the access key. So this is my ID, access key ID, right? Copy, and I have to paste it here and enter. And then I have to go, and that's my secret access key. Copy, and then I have to paste it here. And then it's asking about the default region name, right? And then the default close. The default region we can see right here. Oh God. Oh, 1 second. My default region is US East 1, so I'm gonna put that one in here. US East 1, and then the output I'm gonna put as JSON. All right, it's done, and then I'm gonna go back to the documentation file to see the next step. Right. All right, so my AWS configuration is done, right? Now I have to install the kubectl. All right, so to do that, my machine is Linux, right? So I'm gonna be using Kubernetes version 1.23. So, all right. Enter. And then I have to give the permission to the binary files. For that, I have to run this command. And okay. All right. Oh, Okay. And then I have to put a path. Okay. It's pretty much like everything is there. We have to just follow the instruction. All right. And then the last step, we can see the version. All right. Oh, sorry, I think I probably put the wrong one. Yeah, this one, the version. Okay. Yep. So we can see the version 2.3.13. All right. So I'm done in here. Okay. Oh, all right. Oh, God. I close that tab. It's okay. So, all right. So I want to show you guys something like before I dive in. So you can see my instance. There is no instance running in here. I have no VPC, nothing, but I'm going to use CloudFormation stack. But using that stack, I have like one VPC running, but that's like a default VPC. That's not the one I'm going to create. But when I'm going to use that stack, CloudFormation stack, I'm going to be creating all these VPC and EC2 instances automatically. But right now I have nothing. So yeah, I'm going to go back to my instruction. All right. Okay, it's coming. All right. Okay, so all right, so I'm doing this one. All right. So right now I'm gonna use the AWS CloudFormation to create the stack. All right. So over here, I have to do some edit, like I have to do some edit. So I have to mention the region name. And of course, I'm gonna give a name to my stack. So I am using the region US East 1. East 1. And I'm gonna give a name as, sorry, TT. Everything looks fine. Okay. Enter. All right. So here is my stack ID. Okay. All right. So now the next step. All right. Now the next step, I have to create the cluster role policy, and then I have to attach the role policy to the cluster, and then I have to assign the role policy. I have to create the policy first, and then I have to create the role, and then I have to create the attach the role and policy to the cluster. So to do that, so what is the cluster? What is the policy? Policy in here, it is actually, since it's like Amazon managed cluster service, they have like all this predefined what we're gonna have. So we don't really have to do anything. They have all this instruction, how many VPC is going to be created, about the EC2 instances, permissions, security reasons, how many subnets is going to be, our subnets and like security groups and everything is already predefined in here. So it's like, the policy is already in here. And then who is this policy for? So this is the policy is for our EKS cluster. So that's why we're going to define in here that these are the policy we're creating for our cluster. On the third step, we are assigning this policy and the role to attach it to the cluster. So that's the 3 step we have to do it in here. Okay.
I have a question. Why we need to create a policy?
If we don't, it's like we're not actually creating the policy. It's like Amazon already creating the policy for us.
You are creating the copy when you copy.
Yeah. We are creating the policy. We are like taking it from them. But if we don't predefine like how many subnet, what version I'm gonna using, like if I go to the
It's
policy.
only to give the permission if you read the this template,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Just
it's
to
the
give
permission, if
Yep.
the what kind of services, if I go on the policy section, right? Okay, let me go over there. It's all in there. Where is, right? If I go in there, I'm policies. It's like 1,020 policies over there. It's not like only one. So they are like, you know, making our job really easy for us. Okay, it's loading. Just give me 1 second. So if you go over there, you will see like how many policies. We have 1,020 policies. If you like, you know, go over there, you'll see for the EC2 instances, for the Glacier, for what is this called? For the Amazon marketplace, like, so for so many things. So we are really like, you know, making these things so simpler for us. So in here, they're just, you know, where is gone? This thing's gone, sorry. So they are just making things simpler for us. They are like pre-written all this definition, like what is this called? Like the permissions, what security access the people's gonna have. So the policies is gonna how it does work in a company. So suppose there is an AWS account, right? So so many people gonna be working in a company or in a team, they're gonna have access to this AWS account, like the manager, the project manager, the QA team, the developer team, the DevOps team. So what kind of access they're gonna have, what kind of role they're gonna have, is all gonna be predefined on these policies and roles. So that's the main purpose of this role policy we are attaching with this cluster.
You are keep saying predefined, right? What I need some kind of policies not already there. What you gonna do then?
You need some kind of policies. In that case, I think you have to edit the policies, because there's some.
You have to create one. There are two types.
Yeah, you have to create. Yeah, there is a tab where we can, you know, edit the policy if we want to change for some people. Okay, so in that case, suppose like we have a people, like, you know, what is this called? The business people. We wanna give access to them, like to see what we are working on, right? But we don't want to see them everything. So we're not going to give them all the access that we are working on. We're just going to give them the access, some portion of the project that we want to show them, like, okay, this is the thing we are working. So in that case, we're going to edit the policy. We're not going to show them what credential we have. We're just going to show them like part of the project we are, you know, working on.
What do you mean by credential?
Yeah, in that case, we're gonna, you know, edit the policy based on the requirements, what exactly like we are working with. So yeah, okay, all right. So I'm gonna go back to my cluster creation. Right. I think this is the tab is loading. Give me 1 second. All right, it's loading. Okay. What is this called? Give me 1 second. All right. Okay. So we're gonna create the policy for the cluster first. Then we're gonna create the cluster. All right. Documentation. Oh, it's coming up. Just give me 1 second. All right, so we're gonna go getting started with ML EKS. So I can give a real life example. It's not like with the IT world, but you know, like I can give an example how related to this scenario. I'm not sure, but I'm just trying to, you know, best case scenario. Like it come on my mind. Like when we go to a bank, right? We try to open an account. So we have to, you know, sign a lot of papers. So we don't even know like what is exactly on those papers, like a lot of policy terms, conditions, like how we're gonna deposit the check, the overdraft fee, like how we're gonna, what this service, that service, a lot of things, right? So we just, at the end, we just, what we do, we just sign, what is this here? So those policies are pre-written for us, like for our best interest. So in here is kind of like the same thing they're doing for us. We don't have to go through all this, but they're just predefining a lot of hassle. Like they're just trying to eliminate a lot of hassle for us. That's why they're creating a lot of policies for us. So we don't have to worry about a lot of security issues. And this thing's getting really slow. Sorry about that. Okay. It's loading. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm right here. Sorry about the slow internet. All right, so I wanna, okay. I do think it's about my internet. Whenever I go to the this link, it's all day long I work perfectly all right. But when I go to this YouTube live, it's my computer started working really weird. It becomes really slow, but it doesn't act like that when I like work by myself. But yeah. All right, so I don't know. Is
Can you
it
get
my
here?
internet issue?
Yeah, it's giving some issues on my end. If everyone can hear, I don't know.
So you know the cloud formation stack I just used, so that's why it is, the creation is completed. If we check it, we can see that's what it has been created, right?
What kind of stack it is? What it created?
It's created all these resources right here. You can see the VPC, the EC2 instances, net gateway, private route table, private public route table, and
So
everything.
VPC, right? It's created VPC, right?
VPC, and it's created a public subnet, private subnet, route table, and also net gateway as well.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, so part of VPC. Okay.
Yeah. So everything is created. You can see everything in here. And it wasn't there before. Just when I use the cloud formation stack, then it has been created. So it's like fully automated. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the policy. Just give me 1 second. All right. Okay. Copy. Just okay, that's all. All right. We have to create the this policy. All right, for this, I'm just gonna create the line. So it's a bit confusing. Yep, so it's right there. All right, and then I'm gonna attach this role policy to my cluster. All right.
So you created a policy and now you created a role. So what's the difference? Why you need to create a policy and the role? What is the difference?
So if I create the policy, as I mentioned, if I create the policy, then who is who is for the policy? Like, you know, I have to mention the role, who is for this policy. So that's why the role comes in.
Yeah, the role is to give
It's
the
a cluster.
access.
Yeah, the person, the responsible person, the people.
Services is doesn't have to be a person. Normally role we created to give the access to a person, right? And the policy to control the permissions.
Permission to the team, like whoever working on a team. That's where the roles comes in.
That's just to give the access, and the policy to control the permissions.
Yeah, policy, of course, is all about the credential security reasons and permissions about whatever we are creating in the using the the cloud formation.
Okay.
Okay. All right, it's good. And we have to define the role, and if we just create the policy and the role, it will not make any sense until we don't attach it.
But I want to say,
the
cloud formation has nothing with the IMR policy. It's like the service to automate the AWS the resources. So the policy and the roles, they're two new, this whole new different thing. They're like a service. They're important. To role is who you are. Permission,
exactly.
whatever permission you have, and policy actually enforce the permission. Am I right? I guess.
Yes.
So, and you can do manually all of this if you know, but you can automate this. You can automate with the cloud formation.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue, please.
Cannot be found. Oh, okay, I made. Okay. Right.
I think you added two
spelling
with
mistake.
zero. Spelling mistake.
Spelling mistake. I have
Correct.
to do it one more time. Okay. I think I put oh, okay. And I didn't put 0, so I have to go with this then. Okay. All right. So it's done, and now I have to go and create my cluster. All right. Oh no. This cluster. So now we're going to create the cluster. So again, I mentioned this is not a full-fledged cluster. The Amazon EKS cluster is just the master. Is that we have to add the worker node later on. To here. Cluster. And a version. Our role, my role is right here. I'm going to select that one. It's already pre-selected though. Anyway, all right. So this is my VPC. I'm not going to select the default one. I'm going to select the one that has been created through the cloud formation. There's the subnets that also has been created through the automation process of cloud formation. All right, the security group, I'm going to use the one that I have created with the cloud formation. Is good. Next, I have to touch nothing in here. All right, that's good. Okay. All right. Next. So yeah, now the cluster gonna be created and it's gonna take some time. So by that time, I'm gonna create the role policy for the node group. All right. I'm gonna go back there. It's gonna take some time to create all this. 5 to 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes it depends actually. Okay. All right. I'll just go back there. All right. Okay. So for the node group, right, we have two kinds of nodes we can create. One is Fargate, one is EC2. But I'm not going to create anything right now, but I'm going to create the policies. I'm just giving you the information. Fargate is like serverless, computing system they use. So they basically do the pricing based on how many hours. So like how many hours, or the based on the timing, basically like how many hours or the minutes we are using the services. So this is mostly managed one, and like it's saying serverless, but it has server. It has a server under the hood, but it's like more managed way. We don't have to create anything. So of course it's like a more pricey. And Amazon EC2 instance, you have to create the instance, and it's like a little bit cheaper than the Fargate one. All right, so I'm gonna go and create the policies for that one. For the nodes. This thing's so slow. Okay. And I'm gonna create the policy. Copy it from here. It's gonna give all the permission for the EC2 instances and everything. I'm gonna paste it in here for the node group. Okay. All right. And that is gonna be create a role for the node group. The second step, I'm in role. And then enter. And then the last step, I have to attach the policy role to the node group. All right. Okay. So in here we can see, right? I'm giving the policy permission to the worker node policy. And the container registry, read-only. The container Amazon EC2 container registry is similar to the Docker Hub, and also the Amazon EKS CNAP policy, which is the networking policy. All right, it's all good. And enter. All right, so now I'm gonna go back to my cluster to see, because until my cluster is not ready, I cannot add the worker node. Okay, hopefully my cluster is ready. No, it's not ready yet. All right. So yeah, so far I need to wait for my cluster to be ready. Then I have to add the node group, and then I have to generate the kubeconfig file for the cluster, and then I'm gonna go for the tutor application. In between this time, if you guys have any question, you can ask me.
I have two questions. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
The first
You
question,
said
right?
one question.
You create the policy, right? In which format it is?
The policy I created there was JSON.
Nice. And what is the full abbreviation of JSON?
JSON. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, that's JavaScript object notation.
Notation, yes.
Notation, JavaScript notation. Yeah. Any more questions, Shabri?
Yeah, you says like it's a policy ARN. What is ARN?
I can Google. Google can tell me. Policy ARN.
That's for Amazon research name.
Amazon research name. Okay.
Good. So you created two nodes, right?
No, I didn't create any node yet.
Nah, but you're gonna create how many nodes? Two?
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna define like I need minimum, how maximum. I'm not sure
Yeah.
yet. Let's see. Yeah,
Well,
like desired node, how many I need, maximum, how many I need. Yeah. So there's a 3 stage over there. Like I'm gonna define maximum, minimum, and like how many I need. Like it has to be there all the time. Yeah. Yep. This is the hardest part. This thing.
for example, you created two nodes, right? You defined two nodes. And if you need the third one, what you will do?
I have to edit the node policy. So
Policy? Why you need to
not
add
not
the-
the, no not the policy. When you go like the node, what is this called, like node group, right? You have to edit the node group. So over there you can change the configuration. If you need to add more nodes later on, based on your demand, you can edit the configuration over there. Like it's under, basically it's here. So when my cluster will be ready, I can go to node group, and I can go to the compute, and I'll be able to see my nodes, and over there I'll be able to add my nodes, and over there I'll be able to edit my node group later on the configuration. There's a lot of other configuration over there when it's going to be ready.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh no, not delete. So here's my role policy. I created 2 policies so far for my node and for my cluster. I'll be able to see it over here. Let's see. Yeah, these two I just created. Yeah, so my cluster is ready. All right. All right. So here, I've tried the notebook. I already have a policy. I'm just gonna add that for policy here. All right. All right. So here, the node group scaling configuration, right? So desired, I'll just put a 3. Minimum, I'll just put a 2. The maximum, right? I'll put a 6. Okay. 5, 6. Okay. So the configuration we can do as a number as well and as a percentage as well, but I'm just gonna put it as a number. I don't want to do it as percentage. All right, so this is my subnets as for the node group. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm not gonna touch it. And all right, now go for next and create. That's it. So my node group will be created as well. All right. All right. So if we go, we'll see our node group is provisioning, is still creating this thing. Yeah, here is my node group name, tutor nodes. All right. So now I have only, okay. There's only one more step left, and then I'm gonna be able to start working on tutor application. Okay. And this is communicate my cluster with the kube-config file. All right. Here. All right. So here my cluster name is here. Two-tier cluster. That's the name I gave, I guess. Just don't mind making a mistake. Yeah, two-tier cluster. Okay. All right. I did region name, which is US1. All right, US1 to tier cluster. All right. I'm gonna get to see if my Kubernetes cluster is ready or not. Yep, it's ready. All right, now everything looks good. Now we are ready for our two-tier application deployment. Right. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my mobile screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can see it.
All right. Okay. All right. So here, so first we have to. So first, now I'm gonna deploy the two-tier application, right? So I'm gonna do the two-tier application deployment using the manifest file deployment, and then I'm gonna expose the deployment file. So to do this, I'm gonna use the dry run method. So what is the dry run method? The dry run method we use when we run a big command in the production. So if there is any error in the command and we just run the command, is that with this error is gonna run on the production and we cannot do anything about it. And the error gonna be already running, right? So if we use the dry run method, we still can fix it. So the command not gonna be running and it's going to give us the error, like what is the problem. We still will be able to fix it. And the other advantage of dry run method is we can, put the output of the command in a like our YAML file, like a desired file, whatever we want, and we can create a file with that too. So yeah, the main purpose of the dry run method is to like fix our error before we run the command. So that's what I'm gonna do.
We use it for testing purpose, right?
Yeah, in production, so we don't make any mistake. Like we can fix our mistake. Of course, we're a human being, we're gonna make any mistake. So if it's like a space error or like a syntax error, we'll still be able to fix it. That's the whole purpose of the dry run method. All right, just give me 1 second. I have to go to Docker Hub to get the image. Okay. All right, Docker Hub is coming. All right, okay. So I'm on done. Okay. So I'm gonna start writing the command. Kubectl and so I'm gonna deploy two-tier application. So here I'm gonna deploy the backend first. It's always the best to deploy the backend because the front end is dependent on the backend. Because if we create the front end first and we don't have any backend, we cannot even check like if our application is running properly or not, or like was the outcome. But if we have a backend running and we can check from our front end, so it's always better to create our backend first and then go for the front end. So here, that's why I'm gonna provision my backend first, then I'm gonna go for the front end. All right, kubectl create deployment is backend. All right, and then I'm gonna be using an image, which is the first image. Image backend. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna make a mistake just on purpose to show how the driver method works. Okay. Replicas. I'm gonna get the 3 replicas and dash try run. And as an output by kubectl create deployment backend image name replicas YML backend. All right. See, it's giving me an error. Okay. So the mistake I made is the mistake I made is in here. So I'll be able to fix it. So that's the whole purpose of the driver method, and it's gonna the output of this command I'm gonna be getting as this file. Okay. All right. So if I do this, it didn't give me an error. So I can check if I have the file or not. Yes, I have the backend.yml file. That means my driver method worked. All right, let's see what I have in the backend.yml file. All right, so if I do this, right? All right, so in this is a deployment file. I just click deployment file, right? And in this deployment file, I have the specification. This is a backend, and here the container specification, the image I used, and the name of the image and everything is all in there. All right, so it looks all fine. I'm gonna save and quit. And since I just created a deployment file, it doesn't mean that I have the deployment file. I can check with this. kubectl get, 1 second, kubectl get deploy, right? I don't have any deployment file. So what I have to do, I have to, even though I just created a YAML file, name it like a deployment, it doesn't mean that I have a deployment file. I have to apply it until I don't run the command like kubectl apply -f deployment file. I will not have a deployment file. So I have to, for that reason, I have to run this command as well. Until we don't do it, we don't have the file we are looking for. Okay. Okay, this is my file, my deployment file, right? And now we have the deployment file. So first time when we do it, right, it's gonna say created, and then if we do any changes and we have to again like apply it, then it's gonna say provision. So whenever we do the first time, it's always gonna say created, but when we're gonna do some changes, of course, we're gonna do some changes, updating and everything, then it's gonna always say the provision. When you're gonna
configure,
apply it,
it's gonna say configure,
yeah. Configure, yeah, provision, not the provision configured. So yeah, that's how it works. So I created the deployment file. Now I have to expose my deployment file with another comment. So I'm gonna use the driver method for that comment as well, so I don't make any mistake again. All right, kubectl expose So here, the type of service I'm going to use is cluster IP. So the cluster IP that we have different kind of services: cluster IP, node port, load balancer. How the cluster IP works? Cluster IP is the services that works inside the cluster. So the backend services, right, it's not wise to, expose this service in the web. So it's always, for the security purposes, it's always better to keep the backends inside the cluster. So it can communicate with each other, the backend services inside the cluster, so nobody can reach them from the outside. So that's why I'm going to put here as a cluster IP. And then the port 5000. Again, I'm going to use the driver method. Right, I check kubectl, expose deployment, backend cluster IP, port, dry run, client YML, backend SVC YML. Okay, looks fine. We can fix it. Yeah, it looks fine. All right, ls, do I have the file? Yes, I have the file backend SVC YML. But yeah, of course, I don't have the file. I have just a file, but I don't have the service yet. I can check with kubectl, kubectl. Get SVC. Do I have the service? I only have the Kubernetes service, not the service like a backend service. I don't have it. I have to apply it. All right, so I'm gonna. All right, I can show you what we have inside the service file actually. All right, it's basically the networking part that we have in the service file, in the service manifest. So we can see we are the kind is like a service manifest, and also like in here, the port is 5000, the protocol is TCP, and the type is cluster IP, it's a backend. Everything is configured in here, like everything is predefined and configured in here. So all the specification, we can do like a lot of things in here. So yeah. All right, so save it. All right, so now I'm gonna go and apply the file so I can have the service. Apply. Second SVC. Kubectl apply addition. All right. Now I'm gonna. Yeah, now I have the backend and the front end services, and I can see. Sorry, not front end, the Kubernetes and the backend services. I see the port is 5000 and it has been created 9 seconds ago, and it's been created like 21 minutes ago, right? All right, now I'm gonna go and start working on my front end, and I'm gonna again use the same method, the write-in method. kubectl where deploy and dash image. So for this one, I'm gonna use an Nginx image. The reason I'm using the Nginx image because when I'm gonna expose, when I'm gonna expose my front end in the web, I'm gonna use the front end as a load balancer. That's why I'm gonna configure the my front end as a load balancer. That's why I'm using the Nginx image in here. So otherwise, I would just use a regular front-end image, and I would just expose it as a node port. So that's why I'm using the front-end Nginx image in this case. Right. Okay. because I will just put,
The spelling of replicas.
yeah, well, it's okay. Okay. I was just trying to show that right hand, but it's okay. It's gonna give me the error and it's gonna let me the, but it's fine. We always can go back and change dash o and content dot spc. Right, kubectl create deployment front-end image.
You're not
Okay.
creating a service, right? Why do you say everything?
Oh, yeah. Front-end, oh, yeah. All right, I'm creating the deployment here. Enter. All right, it didn't give me any error. Do I have the file? The front-end file? Yeah, front-end.yml. I can check what I have in there. Yep. So it's right here. My replica number is 6. That's all that is the kind of deployment file, and all the specification is right here. So how the deployment file is work, deployment manifest is work, it's not, it's like, it's a manifest inside, like container manifest is there as well. So it's like a one manifest inside another manifest. All right.
Wait, there's only one manifest. What you saying? Like two manifests?
No, there is a container manifest as well, like the specification. The specification of the containers is still is in there inside the deployment specification.
There's only one. How you can say like there are two manifests? How?
No, it's two. It's two in there. Manifest means like it's the specification, like what's in there, like the image name, what kind of resources. So
That's
the deployment manifest is the kind. It's like it's one manifest, like it's container manifest in there inside the deployment manifest. That's how it works.
It's a one manifest file. Like if you want to create two manifest file in one, you're gonna separate it with the like hyphen. For example, like you are creating just one manifest file, right? You want to include the service and the deployment, right?
So yeah, so you can see in here like a specification, right? And
that's
it's saying
only
all
one.
these things.
That's
and
only
then
one.
again there is a specification in here about the containers. So
but it's a one file. It's a one file. It's not two files, right?
I'm not talking about the files. I'm talking about the manifest.
Manifest, yeah, manifest. That's
Manifest
what
is
I'm
like
saying.
when they just specifying what is in there. So I created deployment, right? And then it's inside the container manifest also came in there. That's what I'm saying. The deployment manifest works in a way. It's like one manifest in another manifest. That's how the deployment manifest works. Yeah, that's what I learned. But anyway, we can
yeah.
But that's what I learned, that deployment manifest is a way. It's like one manifest inside another manifest. That's okay. Anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, and then we are in here now. We have to give the data. Apply. All right, this be created. We'll see our front end and back end is there, and the replica number we can see 3 and 6, and 10 minutes ago and 12 seconds ago. We can see everything, all the information is there, and of course now we're gonna expose the front end in the web. All right, so for that again, I'm gonna run a command and use the write method. kubectl create, not the create, the expose. kubectl expose deployment. Content kubectl expose deployment content dash type. The type will be load balancer. Did I know? Balancer. Okay, kubectl expose deployment front-end type load balancer -- port 3000 and then -- by run line 0. Content SBC. Right. kubectl expose deployment front-end type load balancer 0 port dry run point YML front-end. Okay, we always can fix it, but yeah, unless we have the file. All right, now we have to apply kubectl apply -f front-end SBC. So we have the services running. All right, so now let's see how many services we have. All right, supposed to have 3 services. Yeah, we can see we have the cluster as a backend, our Kubernetes cluster, and our frontend as a load balancer. Now let's see if our load balancer is working or not. Moment of truth. All right. Okay. So here is our EC2 instances that I created, right? And our load balancer. Here is our load balancer. All right, let's see if it's working. I hope it works. Oh no. What happened?
It will work. Just give it some time. It's gonna take a minute or 2.
What? Okay, let me see. What's this thing? Okay, that's out of service. What? Instance is out of service. Why?
Go to your load balancer and check the status. Is active?
Yeah.
Status is not saying anything. See yet. See, Farah saying wait for a minute. See, yeah.
That's messed up testing.
I'm sorry, I just joined, so I don't know what.
No, its state is not active yet. It's gonna take a minute.
Why? I don't know what happened.
No, it's good. It's good. Just wait. It's good.
I think it's something wrong with the image. My process is okay.
Go refresh the page. Refresh the page again.
I think I made a mistake. I think, you know, when I specified the region, I didn't do it properly. I think I made a mistake. It's not like, you know, I made a mistake.
No, it's in the US East 1. That's you.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the process. Like, I think somewhere when I mentioned the region, I made a mistake. I think so. That's my bad.
Just give it a second, give it a minute, because you know, in Kubernetes, it doesn't show the state. You're not gonna be able to see that. It's not gonna be active ever. For some reason, I don't know why.
It does show, but it's gonna take time. But
in Kubernetes,
there's a
in
column.
that case, it doesn't. In other cases, the load balancer does, but I deployed it probably like a bunch of times. I never seen the state is active in that case.
Check the health check.
Health check. Yeah. Oh, okay. Where?
No, in the load balancer.
Okay. Yeah. What's wrong with this thing?
Sorry, I had to do something else. So what happened now?
I
is-
think my there's no used 1B, right? Like, let's look at this. My instances are 1C, 1C, 1FY. I don't know. There is something with the instances of when I created the instances, right? Maybe that's the reason.
status out of service.
Yeah, my instances are out of service, but it's running though. Why is out of service? How to check?
Refresh the page again.
Okay,
For the load balance with the DNS name.
let's fix it. Okay. So the instances, they are running though. So why is saying out of service? It's held the instance. Yeah, those are all running. Those are perfectly all right.
Here running, but they are part of the Kubernetes cluster, right?
Yeah.
So here running does not mean they're fully integrated. As my idea, like my 2 cents.
Yeah.
So they're not part of the load balancer. That's the reason it shows out of service.
Yeah. Yeah, they are saying out of service, that they're the really an issue or something. Not sure what's the reason.
Can you refresh the
Well,
page again, please? The DNS.
The load balancer page.
Yes.
Okay. It's still out of service. Yeah.
Shanaz, are you doing anything? You're
Refresh it, please.
I did.
It's not still working.
No. Okay, I think I don't want anybody to wait for it. So yeah, this is my presentation, even though it didn't work, but that's how it should work. Yeah.
you need to do the troubleshooting and the latest.
Yeah, we're gonna do the troubleshooting now after we finish the presentation. Okay, Shabai?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
We're
that's it.
gonna fix it.
Definitely. Thank you, guys. Anyone has any question? Yeah, just do
think-
the troubleshooting and see if you guys can
Yeah.
find the issues.
Okay. All right. So anybody has any question, you can ask me. Shabai, any question? Farazbhai, any question?
No, I already asked the questions. Yeah.
So can you tell me like why you use the ingress? What is the main purpose?
I didn't use the Ingress, Bhaiya. I'm gonna give show and tell on Ingress later on.
Next, okay.
Okay, I use AWS EKS, and that's I know that's not a full-fledged cluster infrastructure. That's only the master we have. We have to add worker nodes over there. So yeah, that's a managed version of EKS AWS EKS service.
So what do you mean is not but that's the one we use, right?
Yeah, that's the one we use, but that's only provide the a service of a master. We have to add the worker nodes. Like we can use the worker nodes, add the worker nodes in here, but or we can use the worker node from other cloud, or like
Yes.
we can. Yes.
Okay. So but if you use the managed cluster,
Mm-hmm.
worker nodes, did you add the worker nodes on this?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. I used the EC2 instances from here as a worker node.
Okay.
I didn't use any other cloud because we don't know how to do that, but yeah.